Hello guys, Sturgeon here. Today I'm making a quick video about what I think is the single best unit to purchase first in Battle Aces. Now in this particular beta version of the game, we do not have too many credits. And the only way we earn them is through the Warpath, which doesn't give you that many credits. So you really have to make that first unit purchase and every unit purchase count. Also, there are a lot of units to choose from. We have, for example, all the core units, the foundry units, all the shockers, the crusaders, the mortars, these kind of staple units. We have the advanced foundry units, which are kind of the late game powerful units that you want to pick up, as the game goes on and you have more bases. We have the Starforge units, the air units mostly, but not necessarily. And then finally, the advanced Starforge units. So there is a lot of choice that you can pick from. That being said, I think there's one clear standout best choice, and for me is very obviously the Destroyer. I got three reasons why. So the first reason, which is probably the least important, is that this dude is kind of cool, in my opinion. He has this USB thing hosted to his shoulder. He uses it to blow up units in one.
This is my boomstick.
He takes down bases really quickly. He also, if you just A move him, has really good attack priority where he focuses on the big units that he needs to, and you get a lot of efficiency out of him with very little kind of micromanagement. Now, the second reason is the price. At 500 credits, he's around the middle of the pack. There are definitely a lot of other kind of similarly priced units, and even some cheaper ones. But there are also some really expensive ones. For example, you don't want to be buying any of these 1,500 credit units as your first unit because you won't have many credits left for much else. But getting the Destroyer gives you incredible bang for your buck, which we'll go into in a minute. And it still leaves you with enough credits to put some other units in your deck as well. And the final and most important reason comes down to the counter system in Battle Aces. In this version especially, they're trying to make counters a lot more important than they were before. So you need to have the right unit to counter what your opponent has. There are small units, anti-big units, big units, and splash units. And as you can see, they counter each other like this. Okay, so we definitely want to have some of each kind of unit in our deck so that we're not easily countered. And if you see here, the anti-big units counter the big units. Okay, so we want an anti-big unit in our deck. We already have small units with our core units. Lots of them are small. The splash units, we already got some of those for free. And there's tons of good ones that you can choose from. There's loads of big units in the game, which I'll mention in a second. However, there are only 5 anti-big units in the game currently. The first is the Destroyer, which is on Foundry Tech, Tier 2. The other ones include the Advanced Blink and the Assault Bot. The problem with these units are that they're in the Advanced Foundry, which is basically Tier 3. So if someone hits you with a Tier 2 timing with big units, or even a Tier 1 timing with Knights or something, and you do not have an anti-big unit, you will just die. You're just going to die. So you don't have time to get to Tier 3 and get these units out in time. So that's why these units are kind of inferior as a first unit purchase compared to the Destroyer. The same thing applies to the Advanced Destroyer, which is also Tier 3 on the Starforge. And then the last anti-big unit is the Butterfly. Now the Butterfly is kind of interesting because it is on Tier 2. It's on Starforge Tech, but the problem with this unit is it's really a glass cannon, and it's very bad in straight up fights versus anti-air units on the ground. And what the air units in this game do is they have a priority system where they will attack the units that are the biggest threat to them. So if you A move your army, your butterflies are all going to run and attack not the big units like you would want, maybe, but they're going to attack the anti-air units, and they're going to lose, basically, in a straight-up fight. Whereas the Destroyer, like I said earlier, will actually smart target the big units in battle and take them out quickly and easily. So out of the 5 anti-big units that we have, 3 are on tier 3 tech, so they're not going to be usable in any games that don't go past tier 2, which are a lot. And then 1 is very bad in straight up fights against anti-air, which a lot of people have by default. I'm not saying the butterfly is a useless unit. I'm just saying out of the 5 anti-big options that we have, the destroyer is the most accessible and just kind of the unit that's best in most situations when you need an anti-big unit. So the reason this is so important is because counters are a really big thing in the current version of the game, and there are 9 big units. They are the Knight, the Crossbow, the King Crab, the Crusader, the Heavy Ballista, the Gargantua, the Advanced Blink, the Behemoth, and the Mammoth. So with 9 of them being in the game, there's a really high probability that you're going to run into them. Now you could make your own big units to try and counter their big units, but having a destroyer will kind of just shut it all down. And if you don't have a destroyer but they do, and you try to make big units to counter theirs, you're just going to lose because the destroyer will blow all of yours up. So not having an anti-big unit is like a really big hole in your game plan as far as counters go. And that's why this is the best unit to buy first, hands down, in my opinion. So there you have it. That's why I think you should go ahead and purchase the destroyer as your first unit in the second beta of Battle Aces. Now, this could change if they add more anti-big units or something like that. Then the destroyer may no longer be the best first purchase, but as it is, it's a very obvious choice to me. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be uploading a lot more on YouTube these days. I'm uploading matches from my stream. I think I put 3 up yesterday. I'm streaming on Twitch, of course, so you guys can find me there. And I'm also on X/Twitter if you want to follow me there as well. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.